think this is on. I'm not positive. Okay. Huh? Hello and happy Sunday to everyone. How are you? Want to talk about the energy and what's going on right now? I don't see that there's anyone here. And man, my tech troubles have really been compounded. Hello, Bambi. My tech problems have been really compounded for the last couple of days, along with all of the scams going on with Facebook and everything else. So, there's a few people here. How's it going? Happy Sunday to you. Want to talk about what's going on in the energy and also what's going on the planet as a whole right now. That's not a part of the energy, but it's more a part of the physical 3D. I have the most amazing static cling going on right now. I am at a different location right now. On planet Earth, we're having a lot of external distractions and disruptions. So we're going to talk about AI. We're going to talk about the energetic split. We're going to talk about some of the information that's coming through to me through the readings. Okay. Let's talk about the unknown here. My pen has stopped working. Call the National Guard. It's an emergency. Okay, so we're in for sort of a cosmic fairy tale landing right now, and this energy, and also what's going on the planet. So a lot of things have really changed just in the last couple of months. So let's talk about that. The robocalls or spam calls, as I like to call them, have really amped up since the beginning of November. And in the beginning of November, when the spam calls were coming through or the telemarketing calls were coming through, it was the same company over and over, like offering some sort of supplemental health insurance or something like that. Even though I've told them I don't need it, take me off the list 100 times, they don't. So I was getting these calls all of November, but around the middle of December, it totally changed from an actual person calling me to AI technology calling me. You guys have probably been getting these phone calls as well. But what started out as a person telemarketing for a certain company turned to nothing but AI in a matter of weeks. So I'm wondering if you guys are probably experiencing this also. So initially the telemarketing was coming through as an actual person, most likely from the other side of the world that barely spoke English. And now it's just coming down to robocalls. So if you don't answer, if you take the call but you don't actually verbally say anything, they'll hang up. If you let it go to voicemail, they won't leave a message, probably due to some legal ramifications. But it's just incredibly weird how this really switched from a human voice of a telemarketer in a matter of weeks to being solely run by AI. And I suppose they're using some sort of robocall machine where they can just keep calling from a different number. I hang up on them, I block them. They call 10 times a day from 10 different numbers every single day. Okay, so I'm not the only one experiencing this. It's really wild and crazy. So I want to address something momentarily that I saw on Facebook from a very angry individual who was mad and talking about the amount of people they felt like were being untrue to themselves and to the general public by putting out false information. And what this person considered to be false information was the fact that there were so many astrologers, energy readers, energy forecasters that were talking about the importance and the energy of Pluto moving into Aquarius. So Pluto moved into Aquarius for the first time in March of 2023. It spent a very short time there. And I don't know how often this exact interaction happens, but what happened was Pluto, which is the planet of expansion, that's the shortest description of Pluto, it's literally the planet of expansion. However, unlike some other planets, Pluto doesn't care who is in its way. So Pluto, essentially the energy of Pluto is a wrecking ball, if you will, for anything in your life that is not truly meant to be on your path and that is not part of the highest version of you. And Pluto does not care whose feelings it hurts when it brings in that wrecking ball. So Pluto being the planet of expansion and moving in and out of Aquarius. So we go through different ages. We go through ages of the zodiac and the energy of Pluto and the energy of Aquarius are meeting. So as I mentioned, March 2023, Pluto moved into Aquarius for the first time. Again, Pluto is the wrecking ball and it wrecks things for not only your personal up-leveling, your personal expansion, but also expansion in a macrocosmic or planetary way as well, meaning it will also wreck systems that are not in line with the energy. So what we're talking about then with Pluto, the planet of expansion, being the wrecking ball, it's the wrecking ball to the age of Aquarius. So the age of Aquarius is about, hold on one second, I left my water over here. Sorry about that, guys. So Pluto, the planet of expansion, the wrecking ball energy, and it moving into Aquarius. Aquarius is the energy of newfound freedom, sovereignty, and new earth. It is Aquarius is the energy of new earth, new thought forms, new belief systems. So the wrecking ball of Pluto then will be taking out those same things. Old thoughts, old ideas, old patterns, old ways of our sustaining ourselves. Now, Pluto has not been in Aquarius for a very, very, very long time. So let's take a quick look at this. Now, what I was saying is there was a person on Facebook calling people charlatans who were talking about the energy of Pluto moving into Aquarius, and they didn't understand where people were getting this information. So it moves in and out, and then I find this part very fascinating. Pluto moved into Aquarius on January 20th. Again, on the 21st, it passed the sun. Okay, so you can think of that like Pluto lit up, right? The sun gives clarity, gives strength, gives light, which is information, to whatever planet it's passing. So the planet Pluto of expansion, the wrecking ball of all that's not built on a solid foundation, outdated ideas, moved it back into Aquarius on January 20th. On the 21st, it passed the sun, and on the 22nd, that generated what they call sympathetic or twin solar flares coming from opposite ends of our sun. Okay, so this is really huge for us. So you really do have to take a look at the fact that when we have a planet that goes directly in front of the sun and then moves into another place, we look at the energy of what that planet is, and we look at the energy of what that space is. So Pluto moves into Aquarius on the 20th, passes the sun on the 21st, and as soon as it does, we get what they call sympathetic solar flares. We had a solar flare from two opposite polar ends of the Earth almost simultaneously. Apparently, they were off by like a millisecond or a nanosecond or something. And even science, quantum physicists, and astronomers are calling this the twin solar flares. So what happens is we have a bang from opposite polarities, and then we had two solar flares that formed an arc, met in the middle, and caused an M5.1 or 5.2, which is just relatively under an X-class solar flare. So that's a big deal. And when we're talking about people reading energy, people that are sensitive to energy may pick up on things a couple of days before they happen, a couple of weeks. Some of you may pick up on things a couple of months before they actually happen. I hate to see this kind of energy or this kind of chastising of light workers, because we are only talking about what we feel in the energy. Just because I talk about something 3 days or 6 months before it happens, which is usually what I do. Hello, Susan. That doesn't mean people are giving false information. So Pluto, the planet of expansion, goes into Aquarius and it retrogrades into Capricorn a couple times, right? So Aquarius, when Pluto, the planet of expansion, the wrecking ball, moves into Aquarius, Aquarius is an air sign. So it's all about thoughts and ideas and communication. When it retrogrades back into Capricorn, which is an earth sign, we're talking about solidifying energy that's out there in us, within the collective, and within the planet as a whole, and our universal makeup of our part of the galaxy, this part of the solar system. It takes things that are thoughts and ideas, again, Aquarius, retrogrades back to Capricorn, which is very earthly, grounded energy, and pulls those things into fruition. And to give you an idea how big the wrecking ball of Pluto is in Aquarius, it's a mouthful. The last time this happened was 200 and some years ago. 1776 is when we had the American Revolution, the French Revolution, and many, many other astronomical things. So anybody who thinks that this is not a big deal is not quite understanding. And so if you're one of those people that don't think that this is an amazing expanded wrecking ball kind of energy, just do a little digging, okay, on the internet and look and see what happened in 1776. So this is the last time we've had this. And it's going to, when it stations direct, and I don't know the exact date, because like I said, it's going to temporarily retrograde back to that earthbound energy of Capricorn, pulling these higher energetic realms down into physical reality. Hello, Dawn. Long time no talk. I did a show with Dawn. I'm going to try to get her to help me figure out how to post it on here. I know some of you follow her, so you can check out her page also as well. Living Light, Dark to Dawn, Rock Solid. So yes, we had a whole lot of fun talking about things on there. So this is speeding up a lot of things, and it's solidifying also a lot of things. And you and I and all of us on this first wave of consciousness have been talking for a long time about the split that's happening, okay, within humanity, period. And most of us empath- eh, um, as empaths, as psychic, as feelers, as seers, have felt things way beyond advance. And hopefully you guys can hear me okay, because I went from 25 people down to 6. So yeah, Dawn, let me know if the sound is okay. Maybe people just got bored. You never know. We definitely shouldn't be chastising anybody for seeing something in advance and talking about what we see in advance, right? And I'm sure Plato and Socrates and everybody else that had the ability to see, that actually spoke about it, went through that same thing. Okay, Dawn said she can hear me. Okay, that's good. So there have always been shamans, there have always been seers, there have always been prophets on this planet. And so let's try to curb our enthusiasm in sending that wrecking ball to light workers when they're talking about an energy that's coming, because you have to remember, you and I many times will feel an energy 2 days, 6 months, sometimes 2 years, or even further in advance than that. So the energetic split, one of the most important things that I want to tell you that I have experienced in doing tarot readings for the last 3 years is that people that I've done readings for have energetically or etherically split from people, places, and things, jobs, relationships, and circumstances energetically. And even if you haven't split from people, places, and things, jobs, opportunities, relationships, in a physical way, many of you have already split off energetically, or etherically, or spiritually, and branched into another direction. What I can say from the amazing people that I've worked with and done readings for is that almost every single person has the exact same question. Now, many of the people that I have read for feel the energy of something new and something different and amazing and wonderful coming through, and they have already split, some of them physically, from their situations where energetically the tie was, or the bond was severed previously. So energetic split versus the split in physical reality. Sorry, you guys, I have not been sleeping well for the past month, and I was staying with a friend last night and took a dose of Benadryl. Anybody who watched my Facebook today got the lowdown on that. And today, this evening, I took a double dose of Benadryl because I just cannot deal with another night of not sleeping. The hundreds of people that I have read for that have seen, felt, and heard new jobs, new relationships, new living situations, and basically just the vibration and energy of new earth, had not seen that materialized. And so the question over and over again in the last 3 years through these readings has been, I've been seeing it and feeling it and hearing it and experiencing this thing energetically, multidimensionally, for forever. But I want to know when it's going to happen. I have certainly had a lot on my plate for the last couple weeks, and I got messages from quite a few people that I had done readings for in the last 2 years. The reason why I'm mentioning this is because there are 2 ends to this situation, right? 2 wicked candle or a double twin solar flare, bringing recognition and clarity, and that arc that moved together and merged together to cause an M5.2, I believe it was. Okay. And the reason I'm talking about this in correlation with things that are energetic or etheric, magnetizing or pulling in to physical reality is because that is what happened. That is what is happening right now. While that Benadryl is really affecting my speech. Sorry, guys. And actually, I'm taking children's Benadryl, but I'm just a lightweight. So to answer the question for the hundreds of you that have had readings and the other hundreds of you that have not had readings is how much longer, how much further before what I experience multidimensionally, etherically, or energetically about people, places, situations, job opportunities, and just the vision of New Earth. Every person, same question. When are these things that I have intuited coming in to physical reality? So I want to tell you that through readings without giving their information or anything like that, that several people reached out to me last week that had energetic split in their life in the last, let's say, 3 to 5 years. And now those splits were physical. That's what I, more than anything, want you to know. Now, you may be on the other end of that, right? Because maybe you have energy, maybe you energetically split from something a while ago, and now you are physically splitting from that. That's what I want you to know. So, what has been felt and seen and heard multidimensionally for so long is becoming very real and very physical. Now, I will never tell you that astrology is the be all end all, nor is numerology or any other information outside of us and our own inner knowing. There is no external thing that runs our life, but it is the energy that it gives us to breathe new life into us, to make changes, to make alterations, so that we can experience the split that happened energetically or etherically for you last week, 5 years ago, whatever it is, whatever dynamic that you spiritually and energetically left, whether that's a job, relationship, whatever you withdrew your own personal power, whatever you withdrew your own personal energy from people, places, and things, situations, those things are now going to split physically. Now, most of you guys have been intuiting and using that higher stream of consciousness that flows into your reality to do the split yourself in physical reality. If you have not, those things will probably be happening for you with or without your invitation. Okay. So this to me is a really big deal because so many people, even outside of readings that I've talked to, said, I know this job is coming. I know this situation is coming. I know this relationship's coming. I've known it forever and I can feel it bleeding through into to 3D physical reality, but it hasn't shown up yet. And the question is when. So we are not all on the exact time frame. I don't want to say timeline because we are all on the hi Rennie, yes, I'm back. We're all in the same timeline, okay, but we're not all sorry, I have cat hair in my mouth. My friend has 10 cats. I've got no cat in my room right now, but there's cats outside the door even waiting to get in. But so anyway, the people, places, things, relationships, situationships that you have withdrawn your power or energy from, within the last several weeks, months, and years is now going to see a physical breakup. Okay. And that could just mean you're moving geographical locations. It could mean a divorce. It could mean retiring from a company or starting your own entrepreneurship, starting your own business, things like that. So that is what has been coming through to me. Partially that has been coming through from the readings, but also it's been coming through from people who had readings a year ago or 2 years ago and had energetically, spiritually, powerfully split from a person or situation or job, but had not physically done it. And I had 3 people with just in one day reach out to me and say, hey, this thing that happened energetically a long time ago that was over is now over in physical reality. So I wanted you to know that. What these two solar flares or sparks of creativity, sparks of wisdom, sparks of divinity, sparks of clarity or clarification for your splitting situations, for the split between the etheric realms, your multidimensionality, and physical reality, were really pushed in a massive way when these two solar flares came in. So these two solar flares from opposite hemispheres of the sun did something, and I'm going to try my best to describe to you what I saw and heard that these things did. I've been talking to you guys a lot when I do the free tarot on Facebook about listening to certain frequencies, certain hertz, whatever you need, depending on what your particular need is at the moment. When you listen to these hertz, in the left side of the ear will be a frequency that's for the right brain, and your right side will be receiving a sound in these hertz that is for the left side of the brain. When we had this solar flare from two opposite hemispheres of the sun, just like the two opposite hemispheres of your brain that I was just speaking of, this did something, this created some sort of synopsis between the left and right hemisphere of the brain. Okay, so it also created energetically a synopsis not only between the left and the right brain sparking and then coming together, merging in the middle, so that you can better understand with clarity what your path forward is in all aspects of your life. So it did something to the brain, initially sparking both hemispheres exactly like the sun sparked from two different hemispheres, and then formed an arc of energy and then melded together to create that M class 5.2 solar flare on January 22nd. These energies are huge. And what I was saying about numerology and astrology and everything else, that is energy that is helping us working towards the things we want to do. When we talk about God or Jesus or Buddha or the quantum field, the Akashic record, any of these things, all of these things are tools to help us better understand ourselves and our pathway. So the twin solar flares merging from opposite hemispheres of the sun caused what I can only describe as a right brain, left brain spark that created a merge within the left brain and right brain so they could work together. Yes, hot flashes, Rennie, are very, very much a part of that. Okay. So the collision of opposites with these solar flares coming from the sun and meeting in the middle, we are mirroring that body, mind, and spirit. How our spirit will mimic that is the merging of our conscious with our unconscious. How the body will merge is some of these latent DNAs will turn on, and some of the DNA that has been damaged from this lifetime and other lifetimes will start to repair itself. And physically, that is going to bring dizziness and also hot flashes. So we have a merging with the right brain, left brain hemisphere. We have the merging of the solar flares, okay? And this collision of opposites coming from the sun is what we are mirroring within our brain with our internal energy of masculine and feminine, using, meaning I use what I intuit, right? Divine feminine is a magnet. It's the energy of the moon, the magnetism, the pulling in that which we wish to create, co-create, and manifest. And divine masculine, simply put, is the projection, the action taking, the plan that goes into motion. So the left and the right brain are mirroring the left and the right hemispheric conditions on the sun, meaning that spark is giving our brain a left hemisphere, right hemisphere spark that is creating a merge, which makes the brain, the parts of the brain connected to the third eye, much stronger, and the part of the reptilian brain that wants everything to be logical and cerebral, and it's putting that on the back burner. Yes, I know, Christy. And I was like walking around the kitchen and I walked right into the door frame. And Josh said to me, "Are you drinking?" And I'm like, "No." It happened like 4 times. I could barely stand up. I was walking and I was speed walking through the house, and all of a sudden I was just going, woo. So, what these twin solar flares are doing, have been doing, and what Pluto moving into Aquarius, and then we have all sorts of other energies coming from the galactic sun too. What they're doing is amping up the ascension process. So where are we in the ascension process? We have that amazingly beautiful synapses between the left brain and the right brain merging so that we are more powerful in our perception, and in all of those beautiful qualities that come from using the third eye in a multidimensional way to maneuver around the earth plane. So our third eye is coming to the forefront, and the reptilian part of the brain is going to the back burner. Now, where are we in this ascension process? A lot of what we're going through right now is everything that's connected. So the third eye is here, right? And then we have this triangle from the third eye down and over to the mouth. So we have all this energetic happening. Now, it may cause a stabbing pain in the ear. It may cause like just a tapping or a thumping on the ear. You may feel like you're holding like a conch shell up to your ear like you did when you were a child, and you're kind of hearing that noise, how it would reverberate from a conch shell. So the main part of the amped up ascension process that these two very opposite solar flares caused was a creation energy from the third eye down to here. So you may be experiencing jaw things or teeth things, ear things, sinus cavity stuff as well. Just remember, in that triangle here, maybe even like grinding your teeth at night, stuff like that. So ear issues are directly connected to third eye upgrade. Now, what I want to tell you about the ear thing, whether you think it's vertigo, dizziness, you have an earache, you've been in the ocean too much, and in that case, I'm jealous of you. It doesn't matter what the issue is. You can use one of 2 oils, and you want to warm it up slightly if possible, not nuking it. We don't want to nuke anything that we ingest that is medicinal. So you can use olive oil, which works great, but castor oil is supreme. Buy organic, cold pressed castor oil, put a couple of drops in each ear, and then just lean your head down till it soaks in, and put a piece of toilet paper or cotton ball or something in your ear, and then do it on the other side. You just want to stay like leaned over like this until you feel it, and you can feel it, trust me, trickling down all the way into the ear canal. This is going to stop everything that's going on with the inner ear that's disruptive. And we have to remember, when there's a pineal gland upgrade or any kind of third eye upgrade, we're always going to have the effects, like I said, in this triangle here. So eyes, ears, nose, mouth. Third eye is going to create those things. Now, using castor oil or olive oil is extremely, extremely medicinal, and anything's better than nothing, but you really, with either oil, you want cold pressed organic. Okay. That's going to get rid of the dizziness. It's going to get rid of the ringing in the ears, the ear tapping, the ear aches. Okay. So a lot of times the problem with medical stuff is when we're having issues, all we want to do is get to the bottom of what is causing this. But it's just like if you have a runny nose, you want to have lemon water or vitamin C. So we have to turn our perspective around and stop saying, oh my gosh, what is it? What is it? What's wrong with me? Do I need to go to the doctor? Because no matter what's wrong with you, no matter how extreme something could be in your ear, a couple of drops of castor oil or olive oil is not going to do anything that's detrimental, no matter what is going on with you. But I started with the extreme ear symptoms about 2 weeks ago, before I noticed everybody else was trying to go through this as well. Natural Botox. Oh, Rennie, I had not heard of that for sure. But yeah, so the ascension process, the amped up third eye energy, is going to connect with the sinus cavity, the nose, the mouth, and the ears. A couple drops of warm oil, whether that be olive oil or castor oil, either one is going to work great. But the majority of this ascension stuff right now is hitting the third eye, which again is pulling back your original power that we have accrued from many lifetimes and centering it back there. And there are always going to be some sniffles, maybe a headache. Again, anything here in this triangle is going to react to a third eye upgrade. So that I wanted to let you know as well. So in short, with those twin opposite hemispheric solar flares and the brain activity on opposite ends of the hemisphere are merging together to give more power to the third eye, like the sun and Pluto, giving more energy to the age of Aquarius. New thoughts, new ideas, new dreams, making things right. Basically, you could sum it up by saying this is new earth energy, and it's something that we can track. And when it gets done retrograding back into Capricorn, which I think it does a couple of times, Pluto will then be stationed in Aquarius until 2044. So we're going to have 20 years. No one can seem to agree, you guys, on the age of Aquarius. No one can seem to agree even if it's going to go till 2040 or 2044. But the next 20 years are going to be hugely transformative. And again, Pluto is expansion. It's the wrecking ball that doesn't care whose feelings it hurts. It wants the highest version of you to come through, and the highest version of planet Earth and our part of the galaxy to be on the highest timeline, in the highest version of Earth, the highest version of you, and the highest version of all sentient life. So instead of racking our brains to try to figure out what it is or whether it's ascension, anything that is happening in here, lemon water, vitamin C, ginger tea, and a couple of drops of oil in your ear, okay? And it's not going to take your third eye upgrade or your ingenious, powerful pulling energy of the third eye by using these things and doing these techniques to soften it, because it's not taking anything away from the third eye activation. It's just simply will enhance the positive side of it and help you squash the side effects of those things that are going on. There was something else really important that I wanted to tell you. And yeah, Dawn and I talked about this very briefly on her show on Thursday nights. If you haven't seen that, that's up on Dawn's page, and hopefully she can help me get it up on mine. We seem to have this idea, and I don't think it's the people here necessarily watching. I don't think you guys have these ideas, but there has been this fight and this argument that I've seen on social media for many, many years now. And that is, if you are psychic or if you're clairvoyant or clairaudient, you should be helping humanity for free. And the justification that you should be helping humanity for free is based on the fact that you have a gift from God. Okay. And I definitely agree that whatever your particular gifts are, they were a gift from God, gift from the universe, a gift from all sentient life that has created us and this planet. But it's so amazing to me that people say, well, since it's a gift from God, well, then Dawn should be giving away coaching. She should be giving away these services. Tina should be giving away her services. All of you should be giving away your services. But when you do it for a living, you do it for a living, right? Period. End of story. Well, I think it's very interesting. And one of the reasons why I'm bringing this up is because I've seen it for so many years. The other reason I'm bringing this up is Pluto is again, the planet of expansion, and being in Aquarius is new thoughts, new ideas, new earth. So this is something we all have to understand. Now, though why many of us have spiritual gifts, a lot of us have a lot of other physical gifts too. I would never go to someone's house and lay out a plan for their yard and have them tell me, well, you're just really good at plants. You're a plant whisperer. You can bring trees back to life. You're the tree whisperer. That's a gift from God. So I'm not going to pay you. No one would ever say that to someone doing physical labor, right? If you're a computer engineer, I can't even imagine. So to the poet, to the songwriter, to the card readers, they think that people that can do computer engineering or civil engineering or anything like that, to us, that's a gift from God. I mean, don't tell me you don't think that Einstein and Tesla, that all these gifts didn't come from the creator as well, right? Those people weren't going around unpaid. I don't believe the people that are here have that attitude, but I'm saying that to you because as entrepreneurs, you guys, as people going out right now and deciding which path you're going to do, I want you to know that the world is going to be opening up, expanding their ideas, their thoughts, their new earthly realm based on the fact that what you do for work, you do for work and you get paid, right? Because who draws the line in the sand and says, well, engineering should be paid really well, quantum physicists should be paid really well, writers should be paid really well, but people with spiritual gifts or gifts from God do not to be paid. But again, to me, if you're a computer engineer, to me, that is a gift from God, right? So I'm wanting you to know if you are one of those people that are working up to or have busted out of the box of putting yourself in a situation where you're doing something that is out of the box, this Pluto moving into Aquarius is very, very, very much gonna help you. Yeah, I know. Actually, I came across a tarot reader sometime last year that whose readings went from 200 to $800, and that's mind blowing. Okay. So, um, but I don't know. I haven't talked to the person. Maybe it's worth it. I know Don and I do not charge exorbitant prices. I wanted to let you know as someone, because as I said in the last couple of videos, the energy is not going to sustain the 3D junk anymore. Those sort of less than ideas that are not part of New Earth and our new pathway. A lot of things are changing. So if you are a person that's starting out, just know that this Pluto in Aquarius energy is very much going to help you with that. That is so weird. I went from 6 viewers to 25 viewers. I don't know. The tech problems I've had in the last couple of days have been astronomical. So I don't think you guys are treating people like that. I certainly, I don't think so. I've never gotten that vibration from any of you. But I'm just saying that so you know. There is no person that has the right to draw a line in the sand and say an engineer deserves all this money, because an engineer's gift is just as much a gift from God as anybody's ability to read tarot or do numerology or quantum physics or anything else, right? And that's the New Earth way. All of us being paid for what is our gifts. And it's just, like I said, really unfair to say, oh, well, a psychic ability is a gift from God, but the ability to be an engineer or understand quantum physics is not. Because I can assure you, if you weren't built with the brain, if you don't have the makeup to be a quantum physicist, it doesn't really matter how much you study. It's not something you're going to get into and be able to excel at. So, now it says 33 viewers. This is so incredibly strange, guys. I don't know what's going on. I have had so many people try to hack me in so many different ways. I was trying to start this video a half an hour ago, and somebody wouldn't stop messaging me about sending me $3,000 through Cash App, and I finally had to block him. But I've had issue after issue after issue. Thank you to the people who sent whatever gift you sent of love and clarity in an open doorway that I spoke about when I made my Facebook video, because I did in fact have something that opened up in physical reality today. Okay. I cannot elaborate that for reasons, and if you watch my Facebook video, my other one, you are aware of some of those reasons. The other reason I was bringing up the AI technology versus telemarketing is because when you're talking about expansion, when you're talking about Pluto being the planet of expansion, it's the expansion of everything. Okay. So it doesn't mean just the expansion of love and light. It's the expansion and upgrade of inventions, new innovations, and technology is very much a part of that. If we don't want to talk to AI, if we don't want to shop with AI, and AI is making art and doing all kinds of things, now AI wants to take over Hollywood and use people's voices and faces and bodies from past movies. That's one of the reasons why there's been this writer's strike. They just want to use AI to do everything. So Pluto, that amazing wrecking ball, that amazing energy of expansion, brings innovation in everything, not just housing and sustainable living. It's also going to bring more innovation to technology, which means we have people in technology fields that want the best, that want New Earth, and we have the exact opposite in that spectrum as well. If we don't want this AI technology to run the planet, then we don't want to be using it on a regular basis as an interface. Now, I know we don't always know when we're using AI as an interface, but in the last couple months, businesses, doctors, offices, everything is switching over to what I call like a robocall. Okay. So the energy of innovation and expansion is going to bring in a lot of inventions and a lot of new technology as well. So I just want you to remember, if you don't want that to be the new way on planet Earth, then don't use those things, because the more we use those things, the more problems we have. And today on Facebook, after all my other issues with everything else, I got a message that I wasn't going to be able to do anything on Facebook because I used a picture, and this is a picture I've had for 3 or 4 years and used several times. I used this picture to put out a post that Dawn and I were going to go live in a few minutes on and do her Podbean. And it said that the picture was copyright infringement and that my page on Facebook was going to be deleted in 24 hours. And it even had the little metaverse thing on it, and it said, click on this link if you want to dispute the fact. And I click on it and it goes nowhere. Obviously, it's been 24 hours and my page is not shut down, but I have none of those things backed up. And I'm not so concerned about the pictures, but I probably have at least 100 articles, if not more than 100 articles written on Facebook that I would really like to have permanently. So that was quite scary for me for a second. And I don't have anybody really very tech savvy that I can talk to about this. So AI technology and the people creating it are going to be experiencing this wrecking ball of expansion as well. So does that mean we're going to wake up tomorrow and AI is going to have taken over the planet? No, but again, remember, whether it's chemtrails, AI technology, suppression of information on social media platforms, we have to put it out there. It doesn't mean if it's verbally in writing or whatever, but we have to put out there what we will and will not consent to. Okay. That is massively important. So while there are things here and there that I think work better or are okay with AI technology, just know that, yeah, with that Pluto expansion energy, it will bring with it an advancement in technology. We are power to the people, right? We are powerful. These third eye upgrades are coming in to assist us in pulling our power back, turning that third eye on, healing our DNA, healing everything, so that we can be a planet in unity and oneness that lives in freedom and sovereignty. Very important. And I know that there's a lot going on, and I know that thousands and thousands of us just want answers and answers and answers and answers. But we are becoming more powerful with every upgrade. We are becoming more and more incredibly powerful every day, every week, every month that we are on this planet. So nothing is going to happen to us or for us that we do not allow to happen. Now, it's funny, I've been listening to people argue over whether we are in solar minimum or solar maximum since about 2012. So either they don't seem to know, or they just don't want to share the truth with us. When I looked it up, it said that sympathetic solar flares were extremely rare, but it did not say we haven't had one in 200 years or we haven't had ones, they did not give us any time frame, any information on time frame. It just said that it was a very rare thing. And what was interesting was, after I had made a live tarot intuitive reading session, and in that I talked a little bit about these sympathetic solar flares and how the energy is affecting us. And right after that, I got an article that came through, through a news feed that was talking about the sympathetic twin solar flares and how those things are rare, very rare, it said, and how those things always accompany the start of solar maximum. So now they're saying it's solar maximum, but again, it's one of those things that nobody can really agree on. The most important takeaway from this are 2 points that I want to share with you. To those people that have been experiencing visions and clairaudience and clairvoyance and clairsentience and knowing this energy of new earth or new relationship or new job or new opportunities. All of these things I've been talking about tonight in this video is what is delivering that into physical reality. I wanted to make sure that you understood that, because for so long the question in every reading has been, but I've seen this man, or I've seen this job, or I've seen this new house, but it has not yet manifested itself into physical reality, even though it's bleeding through all the other dimensions. So the most important takeaway from this evening's video is this: all of that which you have felt and seen and heard through your senses, multidimensionally, that has not yet manifested into physical reality, is coming. And for most of you, it is coming this year. That's the first most important thing. I know we're all little new earth detectives and we want to know what's happening. We want to know the truth from a lie. We want to know which information is real and which is not. But what came through to me yesterday was, we don't need answers. We need peace. And sometimes peace means that we have to be in peace in the moment of now without having the answers. And if you're like me, the more Scorpio you have in your chart, the more of a detective you are, and the more you'll be very prone to want answers. Specifically, if you are making plans and or plans to change your life. But it's so important, I think, to realize that we don't need answers right now. We need peace. And that's one of the reasons that the things that you have split from, the relationships, the partnerships, the living situations, the jobs that you energetically left, meaning you pulled your energy out of it, even though physically you are in those people, place, and thing situations still, you pulled out energetically 6 months ago or 5 years ago. So what is going to happen out of that? Do you it's like when you stay somewhere but you hate it, okay? But when you stay somewhere and you're heartbroken about staying somewhere, when you stay somewhere but energetically you're just not in it, the heart is not in it anymore, okay? And we have all had those types of situations. But anyone who's pushing themselves to stay in a situation that is not heart-centered, it's going to drop out of your reality. And how fast and how beautifully and how gracefully that falls out of your 3D existence is completely up to you. But trust me when I say it's going to be removed, because that which you have seen and felt and experienced multidimensionally while you've been simultaneously in a 3D body is about to be pulled into physical manifestation. I had, I think, 5 readings last week alone where that just kept coming through for person after person after person. I had this amazing reading for Judy Hinman. I just kept pulling cards and pulling cards. And all I had were cups, which is love and emotions, peace and fulfillment, and pentacles. The whole reading was love, peace, harmony, manifested into 3D. Love, peace, and harmony, manifested into 3D. Love, peace, and harmony, manifested into 3D. Okay? Cups, pentacles, cups, pentacles, cups, pentacles. And anybody who's recently had a reading and asked, when is this going to happen? Is this thing ever going to happen? And are these people, places, and things that I'm seeing multidimensionally going to happen? And the answer for every single person was pentacles. That's earth energy, that's grounded energy, and that means the manifestation of something. When you're looking at tarot and you're looking at swords, those are thoughts, those are words, those are ideas. When you're looking at wands, that's passion, motivation, movement, direction. When you're looking at, where was I? Okay. Cups is emotions. Swords is thoughts, ideas, and words. Wands are movement and passion and direction. Pentacles mean physical, tangible things. So going from the realm of ether or la la land or your little unicorn daydream, perfect vision of life. If you've been working on the manifestation, if you're here and you haven't been working on yourself and are not working on manifesting anything, then no, you may be a person that it's not going to happen for this year. But I don't think I need to speak to that, because I don't think there's anybody here that I've talked to that has not experienced this lately. Okay. So I wanted you to know it's so important. Those beautiful visions of new earth, new relationships, new job, okay? Pentacles, physical, tangible manifestation in physical reality, okay? Sorry, I know I've not been really reading your comments here. What does that say? I can't tell what that says. Sometimes I wear white clothes and I keep forgetting that the words on here come out in white. So with white clothes on, I can't always exactly read this. Okay, well, that's just someone trying to be nasty. I'll make sure I block that person. Yes, there we go. I will not entertain you and your cringe over there. Okay, that person is gone. Well, at least I was tech savvy enough to do that. Thank you so much for being here. And I just thought it was such an incredibly important thing for me to share with you, because so many, hundreds of you have told me, I know this thing is coming. I've seen it and I felt it. I just want to know when it's going to materialize. Pentacles are materialization into the 3D realm. And every single person that has had a reading has had a different circumstance. But the answer for everyone was these things are now being pulled into physical reality. Okay? If you're having any problems in physical reality with your ears, your nose, your sinuses, try a little couple drops of oil in your ear, okay? And that will take away not the beautiful expanded consciousness is coming from the third eye, but just the things that make those upgrades a little rough, okay? I don't think I've talked to anybody in the last, I would say, at least week and a half that's not had some sort of dizziness or inner ear thing. So again, you know, with those symptoms that come from the upgrades, instead of like, and I'm not saying to replace me with your doctor, obviously, but I don't think any of you guys are massively ill or anything. But no matter what it is, and no matter if you plan on seeing a doctor tomorrow, there are some very simple things, like I said, you can do for yourself. And when we have any kind of brain upgrade, any kind of third eye activation, it's always going to affect this triangle here. So instead of maybe getting too freaked out or worked up about your symptom, just treat that symptom like you always would, you know? Yes. Okay, this is really interesting. I don't know this. Thank you for being here, but this is just some suspicious activity with 33. There has never been even half that amount of people on this channel going live. So anyway, thank you for being here. What you have felt energetically, etherically, and seen in visions for forever is now coming into manifestation. Don't slow it down by saying, I've been seeing this for 5 years and it's not happened yet, right? Well, okay, you're a seer. Let's look at that as a positive thing, not a negative thing. If you weren't a seer, you wouldn't be seeing it or experiencing it or having visions of it years and years and years in advance, okay? We're all very powerful, and I've said so many times that human beings are the most advanced technology on planet Earth. Treat yourself as such. And thank you so much for everything that you sent to me yesterday, your open doorway, your healing, your love, all of your magic. Okay. It really helped me feel a lot better. And I so much love and appreciate you. All right. Until next time, I promise not to wait 14 days. I know it's like 14 days since my last video. Really been experiencing a difficult time. So thank you for your patience and understanding. All right. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much, Bambi. That's so sweet of you. All right, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye. That's interesting.